Good morning, everyone. I do hereby call the Board of Park Commissioners Board meeting for Tuesday, June 11, 2024 to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Harrell,
Present.
Commissioner Patterson,
Present.
Vice President Cook.
Present. Okay. Pursuant, relative to our certification, pursuant to IC 5-14-1-5-D, the Board of Commissioners of the Gary Park Department hereby certifies that it discussed no subject in the executive session other than the subject matter specified in the public notice. Can we all now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now move to item number 4. That's approval of the minutes for June 11th, 2024. After your perusal, can we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second that the minutes for June 11th, 2024 are approved. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Harrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson.
Yes.
Vice President Cook.
Yes. We now go to item number 5, approval of the claims listing. Okay, are there any questions? Hearing none, can we get a motion to approve the
So
claims?
moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Harrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson.
Yes.
Vice President Cook.
Yes. So with 3 approvals, we now move to item number 6, ratification of the payroll expenditures. I have a question relative to William McGee. It says William McGee had several events at Marquette that gave him 21 hours of overtime. Can we get an explanation of what that was about?
Yes, so, William McGee is our one full-time maintenance employee, and we have multiple events throughout the week, so up to 4 events. And you have to remember, we have to set up, break down, and clean the space in order for us to have the next event. And that's what's been going on, for us. We've been having multiple events back to back to back, and the part-time workers are there, but they can only work so many hours.
Okay. Are there any further questions?
So he's paid time and a half for overtime? Is it time and a half or is it,
He's one of
he's salaried?
He's out. He's down. He's
Okay.
out.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
No, I don't think it's gonna give him time.
Isn't it regular time? Is it, or is it regular time? Oh, okay. Because he's salary, it's just regular rate. Okay.
All right, if there are no more questions, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Harrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson,
Yes.
Vice President Cook.
Yes. Okay, we now go on to legal contracts.
Thank you, Commissioner Cook. The first contract the first item that I would like to talk about is the resolution and this will be our second resolution of the year. The resolution is for the Park Board of Commissioners of the City of Gary, providing a hearing and public comment on the changes of location of its Park Board meetings. As I stated earlier, that HEA 1167 was enacted by the state of Indiana and signed by the governor this year, which is mandating that all governmental meetings are live streamed. Although this is not going to affect until July 1st, 2025, the city is asking that we enact this as soon as possible. Of course, we are currently taping all of our meetings and making those available to the community as soon as possible. However, in regards to this, we are proposing and asking the board to approve that the board meetings now be moved to 401 Broadway, and that's in the Gary Common Council Chambers. And that is because this facility does not have the capability to live stream. We are asking that this be started on September 10th, 2024. And again, we are asking that the board approve this resolution accordingly.
Okay. You've had the opportunity to review this. Are there any questions?
None here. I support the change.
Okay.
And then what I will ask to do is just take it out of, and we can do it twice, but if anyone wanted to speak on this today, that the board allows them to speak, and then we can do it again at our next meeting. And what the director and her staff will do is post again all of our meetings throughout the year, and the new location will be so noted for the September meeting.
So once again, we're looking at September 10th.
September
As
10th.
the first opportunity to go across the street to City Hall. If there are no questions, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Harrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson?
Yes.
Vice President Cook?
Yes.
And before we go forward, if there's anyone who wants to speak on it, I would ask Mr. Cook to direct the public if there's anyone who would like to speak on this motion.
You heard our legal speak on the resolution to change the location of our board meetings. Are there any questions, or is there anyone who would like to pose a question?
The Cleo Western Lounge or the council chambers?
We believe it's gonna be the Cleo Western Lounge, but it may be the council chambers.
Too
Depends
small.
on where the live streaming is. I'm not sure about their capabilities.
Are there any other questions? Okay, seeing none, hearing none, we now close this aspect.
Okay. Our second item agenda is a contract or a proposal by A. Palmer's Paving, and that is for, to clean up grass and weeds, to stone, put down lay a foundation as it relates to Howe Park. And we're asking, we know that we were discussing the porous concrete rather than just a regular concrete to be more environmentally friendly, so that we're asking that the contract be approved up to $85,000. We do have a proposal for $62,400, however, that does not include the porous, so we're not sure how much additional that would be, so that's why I'm asking that the contract be approved up to $85,000 and not to exceed $85,000.
Just a quick question. I heard you say concrete. Is this concrete or is it asphalt?
It is asphalt, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So having heard that, any questions? So now is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Harrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson?
Yes.
Vice President Cook?
Yes. Okay, is that it?
Okay, that concludes the legal portion. Thank you.
All righty, thank you very much. We now move to item number 8, administrative reports, and we will begin with aquatics. Oh,
It says it.
okay.
She needs, I know, she needs to,
Okay,
she needs
we-
to go.
All right, we want to have then Hudson Campbell come first, all right? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Excellent. Good morning. my report is that we're working on the fall and winter sports. We have, we're doing something a little different this year. We're more incorporating more senior programs for during the day to have the seniors come out and participate. So I will be going to the different homes, like the senior buildings, and let them know about the programs and the fees, and if they got silver sneakers, and then if they don't have silver sneakers, how to sign up for silver sneakers so they can come to the Hudson Campbell for free, and their insurance will pay for it.
So it won't be for free.
Well, it won't be like, it won't come out their pocket, it'll come out their insurance, so it'll be, the payment will be on like a sliding scale.
Okay.
So just something for the seniors to do. We have a lot of programs for the youth, and we're just trying now to try to get our seniors to come out and get active. And some days we'll have someone come out and talk about nutritional things and things in the community, so they'll know what's going on outside of Facebook and the internet.
Have you put in place an interactive initiative where when you go to, say, a senior citizen complex, you can actually have hands-on with the signing up of the silver sneakers?
So when I go over there, when we sign up, I will be bringing my tablet and Wi-Fi.
Great.
And then we'll be able to, so they don't have to come here to sign up. I can sign them up
You
anywhere.
can sign them up there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then they can just be able to come down, and it's already, so they have the option to come down to the facility, and when I go like to have meetings with them in the community room, I can sign them up because I have the tablet with the Wi-Fi.
Okay, great. Do you have any print media that you can hand out as well to the public?
I will have it for you next meeting.
I'm just asking.
No, I didn't have it all together, but I will have it for you at the next meeting.
That's good.
How is the restaurant or the concession stand?
So
doing?
they are doing well.
Okay.
They're on time with everything, and we've been working together in conjunctions to have different type of health fairs. So, and now that we have like kids and stuff, she do have something, options for the kids to eat. Kinda healthy, but still like chips and stuff, but she try to get them and teach them different things, but we still have something for all rounds, where, she's serving salads now, she's not cooking, but she is serving salads with the drinks and stuff, and now she has like different fruit smoothies with it.
Okay, good. So you're saying that she's doing
Yes,
pretty well over there?
yes, she's doing well.
Okay, great. Are there any further questions?
None here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, then we'll go back up to item number 8, aquatics.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mine is short and sweet, so this will go around. So last Friday, the Shoreline Committee provided us breakfast. When I say us, it was lifeguards, GFD, and kiteboard Mike. He came out to do a training for us all. We all collaborated on it. He had a good time. Even our summer workers that we had at the beach came down to the training and saw that too. So far, we are moving along great. The cabinets have already been ordered for Senate Bill 253. So we are moving in the right direction still.
And you're at full force with the lifeguards?
So we are finishing the onboarding this week. I have 6 guards coming on as of Friday. They're completing their part. But we are full.
Wonderful. So how many would that bring our total to?
We will have 16, and I'm filling the extra 4 positions that was found for me. That was added to what already is.
Oh, wonderful.
That'd be a grand total of 20.
Are these mostly high school students and some college with a smattering?
This year, I have a great mix. I have high school, I have college, and I even have a gentleman who's in his 40s who's been doing this for years, a Navy vet. So we have so much experience out there. I'm so excited.
Nice.
And we've been lucky so far that we've not had any issues.
When I say it's not even luck, it's just everybody coming together and finally getting the game plan back together. Everybody being on the same page. Currently working with GFD, so we can all be on the same radio band. So we can just radio straight to them. So we are working on that. When that's final, I will give you an update with that part too.
Great.
I have one question. At any time, are any of your lifeguards seeing people using ATVs on the beach? And if so, how would they report an event like that?
So we haven't seen them ourselves, lifeguards. However, we will tell Beach Patrol, and Beach Patrol goes together. However, the problem we run into is by the time it's finally reported, that person is gone. So it's hard.
Thank you.
But we have been made aware, and we're trying to get the best solution, but it's tricky.
How far apart are your stations, your lifeguard stations?
Currently, they are 55 feet apart.
Okay. And how far do we go down? Do we go to Wells Street or what?
No, Wells Street is not guarded. However, we do own that property.
So
we have-
where's the last station then? What, maybe, do you know what street that would be at?
So Lake Street is our first,
Yes.
and the final one is, which street is that? Oak? Like,
That would be
No,
Oak.
that would be
Yeah,
W.
Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery. There,
Oh,
I saw the
Montgomery?
streets.
Okay.
I saw the
Montgomery.
streets.
Montgomery?
Yes, ma'am. At the concession stand.
Not Randolph or, oh.
No, ma'am. That's the unguarded part.
Oh.
However, our guards do still look down there to make sure
Gotcha.
everything is okay.
Because that's considered private beach.
No, it's not private. It's just unguarded. Yeah.
I didn't know we owned.
Clarification.
Yeah,
I didn't know we owned Wells Street.
we do. We do.
I see.
It's concessions and parking that we don't own.
I see. Okay.
That's it for me.
So Montgomery is as far as
All right.
you go.
I live approximately at Ripley. And that's why I asked how far down do they go, because I haven't seen a station out there. Is there any particular reason why do we don't go that far? Because that's a well-used beach area at the Ripley.
Well, I can't say.
Ms. Smith has her hand up.
Just because I know your history.
That's
Um,
considered.
Okay,
Yes.
you have a designated swimming area. It's from Lake to Montgomery.
I see.
The rest is boat in, swim, beach. So boats can come in slowly inside the buoys and people can swim, but it's unguarded.
Okay. I know, that's why I was wondering why I hadn't seen one.
And you do own the shoreline all the way to County Line Road.
Right.
That's a Harbor Market Park.
Right.
The concession stand is owned by, is privately owned. She
Right.
doesn't own the beach.
Right.
It's still yours.
Okay. Thank you very much for that explanation, Ms. Smith. Okay, are there any further questions?
No.
Then we want to thank you.
Thank you.
For your service, you're doing a great job. Alrighty, we now move to Marquette Park. And good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to first publicly thank Gary firefighters and the local union 359. We had to get some power washing done at the facility and they came out. So I called them on a Thursday. They came out on a Friday to help us in preparation for the big weekend we had last weekend. And I just want to tell them thank you so much because we don't have a power washer. And I was calling around and someone said, hey, call the fire department. And I called them and they came and they helped us tremendously. So I want to tell them thank you. On last Tuesday, we had someone to run into the gate at the pavilion. And they broke the gate and we cannot lock the gate. And you know, that's very important because it's the summertime. People gonna park in the gate and not park at the parking lot. They gonna park over here and walk. So I have to put on my policeman hat and go and try to tell people, hey, you can't park over here. You have to, you know, this is just for event purposes only. So we're trying to get that fixed, you know, as quickly as we possibly can because every day it's a struggle when that gate is open.
In the meantime, Kamisha, can you put barrels up?
They will move the barrels. Mhm. They move the barrels. So, I mean, we have barrels, but they do move them.
Any idea how soon that
I'm
can
not
be
sure
repaired?
just yet, but I should have an answer for you when we come back.
Has you mentioned at our last meeting that there was some work being done on some bridges.
On the bridge,
Has that been completed?
Not yet, but they said they'll be complete this week. So I don't know if the weather is gonna hold them up, but they have been out there working on the bridge for us.
And they're doing a good job too.
Yes, excited
How are we
about it.
doing with the parking?
With the parking?
Yes.
Been
and the
doing really,
collection?
really good. We've been bringing in good numbers last weekend and this weekend. We brought in really good numbers from parking. So the summer workers have been working and helping out tremendously with that. We've been able to have someone there, you know, around the clock.
And the parking passes.
I have them, and they're laminated, but I think I left them on my desk. But I do have them. I do have them.
Any further questions?
When we talked about the new company that's actually in position to start, as far as the parking meters are concerned, what's the timeline with that?
That will be a discussion for the executive session.
I see, okay, okay.
Don't forget the food truck block fest, Saturday, July the 13th, from 12 to 8 o'clock.
What, in conjunction with the air show, what preparations do we have to make in order to have that go smoothly, if any?
Well, we just make sure the grounds are clean and clear of any debris. The grass is cut. That's pretty much all that we have to do. Make sure all the electrical boxes are working. That the lights come on like they're supposed to. Those are the things that we normally would do in preparation for the air show.
Okay.
And they'll be adding like additional porta potties. You know, they'll use the ones we have, but they add to those. So.
One other thing, in order to keep everyone safe that wants to come to the beach, and to actually slow down drivers that want to come around that park at record speeds and not obey the speed limit, are we still entertaining the possibility of some kind of speed bump that's environmentally friendly that we could put in place in some areas?
I have not had that discussion with Lavita, so maybe we'll bring that conversation back up.
And we're thinking of a more permanent solution to the speed problem, as well as the openness of access to our beach. But again, an executive session discussion.
Don't have anything else.
Just a question here. I see a lot of Illinois employees. When we charge, out-of-staters are to pay more. And I hope that that is strictly enforced.
Oh, absolutely. So if your ID has to have a Gary address, if it does not have a Gary, you pay more.
So it's
So
a
if it have
license.
Lake Station, Highland, Maryville, Crown Point, they pay more. You have to have a Gary ID.
Okay. And not the license plates on the car per se?
No.
Okay, that answers that question. Any further questions? Okay, then we'll look forward to getting the passes, and we thank you. We now go to park maintenance.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I will start with the Juneteenth celebration at Roosevelt. My guys had the opportunity to take care of the grounds there, and not just the park. We took care of the school and the parking lots and you name it, we took care of it. I believe that the event turned out excellent. I told Lavita and Kamisha that it was a great birthday celebration for me because they went out of their way, because my birthday is Juneteenth. And so, and so every event that we have in June 19th is my celebration for my birthday.
Make it a national holiday.
That's correct. You know, so I came to work in Gary because I knew I'd always get my birthday off. But that went real well. Then on June 20th, we had the big cleanup at Roosevelt at the fields, and that all the stuff started in preparation for getting the baseball fields together. Irrigation lines are going in. I know the minor league field, the pipes are already down. They're working on the big field. They've taken out all the sod and all the weeds and that on the infield at the major league field. Lavita and I had discussed with Noah Simmons and Brian Leiter from the Railcats about not only are they going to redo that field, but they're going to use what's called a portable mound. That's the thing in different communities now when there's not 20 baseball fields. You can actually play major league. You can have your mound at 60 feet, 45 feet. You know, you can play little league softball and everything on one field. You know, so that it's not just a major league field. You know, you're able to use that space up. which is just a great idea, because if you have a tournament or something like that, now you can have all the teams playing on the same age, playing on all 3 fields. You're not stuck by the size of the field. And like I said, the irrigation systems are going in, we've been working, and the cleanup was fantastic. I mean, you know, I've been in the city now since 2012. You can actually see from Jackson Street to Harrison Street now. It's all cleaned out, fence lines are almost all completed, trees are down and that, so, you know, it just gives everything a different look, you know, a much cleaner look, and the one thing that I've noticed the last few days in driving by there is that the youth program, our kids have been excellent. You know, there's always hiccups, but we really have some good workers this year. And they've picked up all that garbage. And so now this is, you know, 2 weeks that we've had them. You still drive by Roosevelt right now, there's hardly any garbage. So, you know, when people see that it's clean, the tendency to not throw it out the window, you know, I mean, I really think that makes a difference. And it's the same thing in our parks. The kids are doing a great job picking that up. One of the things that we've started to do, we got our Bobcat back. If you'll start noticing the curbs, the curb lines and stuff like that. We're taking the Bobcats. A lot of those weeds that you see on the curb lines are just because the dirt has settled there. The weeds aren't in the ground or anything, they're just in the dirt that's there. When you scrape those off and get it, it just gives it such a different look.
Neat.
And, yeah, and so, you know, that's what we're trying to do. My equipment, for the first time that I can remember, we have all 6 of our mowers running. General Services even borrows our equipment now if they run out. But with what that allows us to do, we don't really have 6 people that can mow at the same time. But what it allows us to do is that if we're using 4, we can put 2 down to sharpen our blades, change filters, things like that, so that it prolongs the life. And also being on schedule in that and having the grass cut a little bit lower, it's not near the wear and tear on the equipment that, you know, if you can stay ahead of it, which we have been able to do this year, it's just better for your equipment also.
Don, let me ask you about Gleason Park and that fence line. Has there been any effort to?
I'll let
Do something
Olivia
with that.
address that if she wants to address that.
I'll address that in my report.
All right, okay, that's fine. She mentioned, I had a question earlier about access to Marquette Park.
Mhm.
And there were certain streets that the sand had gone up so high that it almost made it impractical or impossible for the emergency equipment to get in. And I was told that we have the equipment that can alleviate that.
That is
problem.
correct.
Can you expound on that to some degree?
We have a Caterpillar D6 dozer, needs to be charged. The problem that we have is that we didn't have anyone to operate that. We think we found a solution, and when more is done, more is worked on or looked at the machine and that, and the person that we may have to run that machine runs it, we'll let you know
Any idea when that'll take place?
soon.
As in, before the month's out, or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because that way I can report to some of the folks who've asked
Right.
me about it at
Yeah,
Miller
yeah.
Beach.
And, you know, I mean, the D6 dozer is what has been cleaning out that jet ski launch for years.
Okay.
It's just hasn't been used in 3 or 4 years, you know, I mean, you have to have someone to operate it, let's just say that. It's
There
a
are
big
several
piece of
access
equipment.
points, and you're gonna be targeting those.
Yes.
I'm thinking about Ripley, Shelby, and there are 2 others that are further east.
Yeah, if the person gets this dozer back, it just, right now, it just has to be charged, the batteries have to be charged, there's like 6 batteries that has to be charged, and when that goes, we'll be able to know, but I foresee no problem with it because it was running last year, you know, until the end of the season, so with that dozer, those access points will be pretty easy to time.
Would you let me know when that?
Yeah.
So I can share with Ms. Smith and some of the other concerned neighbors.
And you'll see us out there, I mean, you can't hide that dozer, you know, it's big.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Let me go back and talk about Juneteenth. I was out there And you guys did a fantastic job at Roosevelt. I mean, I am not kidding. It was so much like a park-like atmosphere, and there were so many people out there, and so much going on. It was just really wonderful, and kudos to you and your crew for having shaped that place up to look really, really nice.
Thank you.
So, happy birthday. Okay, we now go to Youth Services Bureau.
Good morning, members of the board, as well as members of the public. I came to do two things. One is to model some of this new summer youth employment gear that we're wearing in the room today. And also to echo the sentiments of what Don said about the kids cleaning up the park at Roosevelt. They were out there for, I believe, a week, assisting Don's crew in picking up the trash around the perimeter of Roosevelt. I believe several bags of trash was cleared from the property. Also, we did celebrate on the 20th, about 50 summer youth employment workers going out to Roosevelt again to clean the grounds of 3 baseball fields, the dugout stations, the tennis court that nobody knew was there on Roosevelt's grounds. Of course, we were covered in ticks, we were covered in bugs, but the park is clear and it is clean with the work of several different community partners as well as the youth summer employment workers. I also want to bring echo to some of the students that are here in the Hudson Campbell. Not only have they taken the initiative to keep this facility clean, but they also, when you asked the question earlier about the concession stand up front, she got her some part-time workers this summer to assist her in making those smoothies and keeping up with her traffic that comes in and out of that concession stand. But outside of that, we're still sitting at approximately 130 plus summer youth employment workers that I spread sporadically across the city. And the biggest piece of this is a cleanup initiative.
Yeah.
So not only for the Parks Department, but in general services and public works, as well as in our recycling department.
Nice. Good job.
That concludes my report.
The, are nice.
Thank you. Now, if you want one, we're taking orders to make for sure that we keep our uniformity and make for sure that these summer youth workers are identified when they're on Broadway, when they're on Grunt Street, when they're in the parks, clean it up so the community know that these are summer youth employment workers that are keeping their parks and their grounds clean.
Those are very nice.
Thank you.
Kudos to you and your crew.
Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good job.
Very
Thank you
nice.
so very much. Are there any questions?
No, good job.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
All right, we now go to item number F, which is the director's report.
And I will piggyback off of Don and Johnny in regards to the Juneteenth event. When I say that we've gotten so many citizens who were excited and happy to see Roosevelt clean, number one. But what I learned was they had never had an event on the front lawn of Roosevelt, ever. It was never allowed. So we are beginning a tradition, and I believe that Roosevelt was the perfect site for Juneteenth, given the historical nature of Roosevelt High School. And our team, again, was absolutely phenomenal. I've never been prouder of the Parks Department in getting that site clean. As a matter of fact, the mayor and chief of staff noted that they didn't even know it was a tennis court back there. So after Thursday's event, we had over 150 volunteers from the Railcats, their front office, and their interns came on as well. Noah Simmons and his company, Simmons Field Solutions, they brought the rainmakers out there as well, and they are the ones who are installing the irrigation system. And little to my knowledge, they reduced their prices by $20,000. And so that donation was extremely helpful, along with Simmons reducing his by $10,000. But Noah also brought 100 lunches for our participants as well. So it was a very successful beginning to what will be the Jewel Park in the 5th District. And I don't think I can explain just the way that that Don did in regards to those fields out there as well. So we are very, very excited about that. On yesterday, myself, Don, and Christine here at the Hudson Campbell met with the coach of soccer at IUN. And I was hoping that he came today, but he did not make it.
He's in a meeting.
Okay. His name is Ben Kosowski.
Put the sauce
But
in
the
it.
sauce. And I put sauce in here on purpose so I can remember Kosowski. He is a new transplant to Gary, Indiana. He is living in Gary. He's coaching soccer at IUN, and he wants to begin a youth soccer program for the city of Gary. And there are two major things that he's wanting to do quickly. There is a camp that he's giving. Right now, it's in Crown Point, and we're hoping that he brings it to Gary. And that is July 15th through the 17th. So any children, if you are here today and you have children between the ages of 6 and 17 who may be interested in soccer, we need about 12 of them for the camp, is what he said, 12 to 15 for the camp. And we will, if we can get that many to come and to sign up, we will be able to have that camp this year in a couple of weeks in the city of Gary. I did speak with Christopher Harris in regards to the baseball field right behind Gilroy Stadium. And Don assured us that he will be able to clear that out to keep that cut as nice and flat. And we will be playing soccer over there pretty soon.
Where's
Okay,
it
so
again?
that is the baseball field right behind Gilroy Stadium over by Gleason. Across the street from Gleason Park to the west, to the immediate west.
Old guys used to play mush ball there.
Sure
years
did.
ago.
I used to play softball back there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that over by the tennis courts?
No.
No.
No,
Other
okay.
side.
Oh, the other side,
It's by
okay.
the little Cal,
Yes.
bridge they put in there.
Okay,
And the
okay.
other thing that Ben was excited about was that the infrastructure with lighting and everything is already in place.
Okay.
So that it becomes an ideal situation, you know, for the, as he explained to us, the older kids, they play later on, you know, as school starts and things like that, and people work, they can't get out there till 5:30, 6 o'clock, so when you get into the fall, they can't, you know, they need lights, and so if it becomes that big, and so with that infrastructure and that already there, it becomes a real location that's just been sitting, ideal location that's just been sitting there doing nothing.
Great.
Wonderful.
Secondly, in regards to your question regarding Gleason Park, Brenda Scott Henry has an RFP that will be going out for the maintenance of Gleason Park. Okay, it's 100 acres.
That's the golf course.
That's the golf course, yes. It's 100 acres over there, so in the meantime, while the city is preparing for the redevelopment of the golf course, in the meantime, Brenda Scott Henry's office with Gary Sanitation is going to be publishing an RFP. Okay?
So are there plans to renovate Gleason
As-
Park, the golf course?
Yes, as we prepare that development, and that
Okay.
is in the hands of redevelopment at this time. Right now, they are the owners of that property. Okay?
So no
Because-
plans to sell it, I think.
No plans to sell it, no plans to sell it.
We're talking-
There are no plans to sell it. There were plans to sell it previously, but there are no plans
Great,
currently to sell it.
great.
Absolutely.
Do something, do something, do something.
Secondly,
Gary.
and if we please not have comment from the public at this time, you will have an opportunity to speak, thank you. But thirdly, playground installation is occurring right now at Tolliston Park. They demolished the old last week, and they have started the installation. So far, so good. What we didn't know was the old swings out there were sitting on asphalt buried beneath. So we couldn't put the new swing set in the same place where the old swing sets were. So we're moving them to a slightly different position. But so far, so good. After the installation at Tolston Park, then they will be moving over to Howe Park. And then the installer has another project, and then they will come back to finish the last 2 installations at Brunswick and at Glen Ryan. Okay, and I think that is it for me.
Okay. Thank you very much. We now move to unfinished business. Do we have any?
We do not.
Okay, we now go to new business. Is there any new business?
There is none.
Seeing none. Now we go to item number 11, the public comments.
So the first
Is there
person,
anyone? Okay.
the first person that we have is Tracy Peterson.
Couple observations, a couple questions. My first observation is, you know, we're supposed to have all these lifeguards that are on the beach. There's not a single lifeguard down on Lake Street, okay? Lake Street is one of the main entrances besides Marquette Park, where people come in at, and I think there needs to be a lifeguard down there. Second of all, I also jet ski. And since the park district does not dig it out properly on a regular basis, I have bought me a sand cart to get my jet ski in the water. Well, Sunday, I put 10 people, other jet skiers, in the water, assisted them, okay? I do not charge. They, you know, if they want to give me a donation, they're more than welcome. Sunday, I was also told I would not be able to bring my cart down there anymore. I guess maybe they feel like I'm charging or whatever, but the city is not, I mean, the park district is not doing what they're supposed to do. I'm gonna get you, this is a copy of my cart. It's non-motorized, okay? And 99% of the people that come here to jet ski are from out of town. And I'm probably one of the only jet skiers here in Gary that actually bring my jet ski down to the beach, but every last one of them come from as far as Schaumburg. They want to come here. Gary's the only place on Lake Michigan in this area where they can drop their jet ski and have it on the beach where they can picnic with their families. And that's why they come here, okay? And I'm just trying to find out what rules or regulations to stop me from putting my cart on the beach. Okay, they also have attempted to just lock the gates where we could not get to the beach. Okay?
Okay, well, what we can do is we can refer to our legal here, Judge Monroe, and we can hopefully get an answer for you regarding your question.
Yeah, and I know there's no rules as far as non-motorized vehicles, okay? And if you go down to the other end of the beach past Montgomery, where all the four-wheelers are going up and down the beach, they're dropping their jet skis in the water or whatever, because most of those people live over that way. There's no rules, there's nothing enforced over there. It's almost like it's treated like a second beach, like a private beach.
Well, that conversation came up earlier for us, and we are going to provide an answer, and be provided an answer as well. So if you can give us your contact information, when we find out the answers to your questions, then we'll certainly be happy to contact you. And it looks like a pretty good idea.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are your hopes to do it again this weekend? And you'd like clarification for this coming weekend?
Yes. So on July 20th, they're gonna have, one of the guys was telling me this, so they're gonna have about 40 jet skis down here, because they're having kind of get together there, and they need access to the beach, okay?
Understood.
And I know digging it out, oh, the other thing too, so by me having my cart down there, I have pulled the fire department out twice of the water, because they could not get their vehicle in the water because of the high waves. Well, this allows them to do this, so I do that at no charge, okay? And one of the engineers that also works on the beach also said if they let him, that he is certified and trained to operate the bulldozer to dig it out.
Who was this gentleman again?
I had to
That's
get
what
his-
I discussed with you guys in executive session. So we're gonna, I'm gonna, give you a call. I did get your information yesterday, Mr. Peterson.
Okay.
And so, we will be getting back with you. In the meantime, as far as the Parks Department is concerned, Don and, the firefighter Dave is going to handle the digging out of the, boat launch. And we're not going to, have a, private entity dig it out for us or to manage that area for us. So, we'll get back to you with an answer in regards to, your, what is it called?
Sand cart.
Sand cart.
Sand, yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You want your pictures back?
Sure.
Okay. And thank you very much. Is there anyone else?
The next one will be Emmett.
Emmett Mosley.
Good morning, Mr. Mosley.
Good morning.
How
Good
are you,
morning.
sir?
First of all, I want to, back?
For the camera.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, all right. First of all, I want to applaud you for your effort. This is my first meeting this year. And I want to applaud you for your efforts on the concepts. But I do want to give this because I have some questions relating, because I've been coming here, I know I've been coming here for 8 years, asking for some things. And I applaud the effort even of the swimming. But Lake Michigan is the most dangerous beach in the United States. Okay? I think there's been 1,700 people killed already this year throughout the United States. But Lake Michigan is the most dangerous beach. I'm saying that to say, I've been coming here talking about where is our non-beach swimming facility, working with the city, working with the school, working with somebody, because we need a facility. I will not allow my grandchildren to go out to Lake Michigan. Okay, and they announced that the Y been waiting a long time for the Y, and I don't know if the Y is going to charge folks, because that's what they were going to charge before to learn how to swim. But remember, swimming, drowning for African American youth is the #1 killer. Okay, and mostly it's because we don't know how to swim. And so we need a facility. So all I'm saying, I'm available. I would like to say that we need a strategy, a plan of action on the swimming piece. Okay? Because the school system, they have a pool. Okay? And thank God finally the Y, they're going to be there. But, that's for adults mostly, mainly. So I just want to encourage this committee to keep the good work up. But those are my biggest points, that we have to have a place where people can go swim. And the other thing is Tolleson. Walk there every other day, okay? And bottom line is, I think I won gold medals at Tolleson 40 some years ago, okay? But right now, if you're walking, running, you're gonna break your ankle because the asphalt is broken on the courts and the asphalt is broken on the track. I think out of all the places in Gary, and I've gone to all the parks that I could get a hold of where they are and the little landings, it is the #1 place where young people play basketball at, and it's the #1 place where seniors and everybody else do their walks. So I encourage and I applaud your new director, but hey, let the people be part of this helping in coming up with a solution. Thank you. I have to go to another meeting that started at 11 down the street. Thank you so much.
Well, let me address
Go
your
ahead.
issues first. And we,
I'm sorry if I didn't stand right.
we are planning, 4 pools in the city. We have to start with 1. We're in a work group. We're actually writing for a grant right now and, with the EPA. And, we're not right now releasing anything because it's a very competitive grant process. But we are planning on a daily basis. I don't want you to think that we are not. This is a new administration, and we want to be able to first peel back everything that is unseen. One of those things that has not been seen is that when the pools were shut down, they were shut down without properly being winterized. So we can't use any of the pools in the city right now. And this is years and years and years of neglect. And that's just the transparency of the truth of the matter. Okay, so no, we're not opening any pools at all. And it's not because we don't want to, it's because it would take $3 million to fix it, okay? In regards to the Tolliston Park, the track is owned by the Boys and Girls Club. The basketball courts are owned by the Parks Department, and they are going to be resurfaced this year. Okay, that's my 2 minutes.
Cause I asked the
Previous administration?
Yeah, I asked them, where do the park department start?
Now you know.
Yeah, now I know, because that's not what they said. They said we go up to the concrete.
No, we do
Okay.
not. We have a small swath of land on the other side of the track, but the track belongs to the school. It belongs to the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And that Tolliston Opportunity Campus that's going to be built, hopefully they have plans to resurface that.
All right, let the people know. Don't do like what previously happened. The last meeting where all the folks came to, talking about the $30 million. That's when we found out that yes, Tolliston don't belong to this project. So thank you so much. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Mr. Long.
Call on us. We'll work with you.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, are there any other?
One more is Latanya Rogers.
Good morning, Ms. Rogers.
Good morning, good morning. I wanted to say thank you for what you do. I noticed the change. I'm here for the Pulaski playground area. And I did take a couple of time off to let you all do what you all need to do from whatever complaints I ain't gonna say complaints, but it is complaints, for what you need to do for our community. I am back, and I do still have concerns, and I wanted to illustrate how we feel. We feel like we're begging. We feel that we have lost hope in our government and our officers that conduct business for us. I felt like I'm arguing and bitter, and this is getting to me. So I am begging you, please, help us over there at Pulaski. All we need is our shelter done, a swing, and we would love the basketball courts fixed. That's all I have to say for y'all today.
But the cutting is going forward? You have been cutting on a regular basis?
The cutting is getting there on a regular basis. Me per se, I like to look nice and beautiful. When I cut my yard, I cut that field. They do try to come over there between 2 and 2.5 weeks, but you know, this year has started, rain was aggressively. We was cutting our grass every 5 days. the park was getting a little out of control. I'm not gonna let it get out of control on my side. Okay, so when they don't cut, I still cut. This is the first time that they got my side too. They did a wonderful job on the other side. They cleaned the sidewalk. You can walk down the sidewalk now. It's beautiful. The land looks so nurtured on the other side. Now I'm like, wait a minute, them folks ain't saying nothing. I'm over here complaining and that my side don't look like that. I'm jealous. I want to be able to look through the field just like they're looking through the field. It's beautiful. If you all just come over there and see what Pulaski has to offer our youth, you will be ecstatic. 3 bad baseball fields? Come on. That's a lot of land over there. But they're getting there. They're almost there. The guy came up there. He works at nighttime to cut our grass. And he did my yard. He did my side this time. And I appreciate that. But I still will cut because I do not want to see hay or none of that in the back of my yard. So I appreciate y'all. I'm telling y'all, y'all doing a good job. I just want it done. I just want the weeds out of there. The neighbors can't get to their facilities where the telephones and stuff is because the trees and stuff that grew up. So they got the lines running through the trees. It's like, I'm sorry to use the word, it's nigger reading because
That's not appropriate
well, what I'm saying is, it's not.
for a public conversation.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's not properly maintained. The NIPSCO, the telephone company, and all of them has equipment to keep their.
So we'll speak again afterwards. The 2 minutes are up at this time.
Okay.
But we'll speak again afterwards. But I wanted to make sure that people understood that we are cutting on a 2-week schedule. The 2 weeks is, that's the best at this time that we can do because we have 6 regular people who are cutting. That's what the budget called for. We did not design this budget. This budget was done by the previous administration. So we are working on the previous administration's budget. Is it gonna be any different next year? I'm not sure, because with 6 people, when your tax dollars are at work, we do the best we absolutely can. We've employed for the jewel parks, which are the parks in your neighborhood, in the 4th district, that would be Ironwood Park. And the concept is at least 1 major park in each district, because we'll have the rest of this conversation after the meeting, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for your
Jewel Park.
participation, appreciate you.
Ironwood. Thank you.
Ironwood in the 4th district.
She's in Pulaski.
Yes.
And I will make a comment about Pulaski. Ms. Rogers applauded my general foreman, spoke to me, and he's like, I have to cut her section. Problem with that is that she always has it cut when we go out there, and so it's like, all right, do I go over that again, and so I know he spoke with you, and he's gonna cut the whole thing out. She's always ahead of us. Her part's always well manicured and cut, and when we go out there, it's like, it doesn't need to be cut, so Claude's gonna cut it out.
Okay, thank you, Don.
After 2 weeks, I cut.
Okay, are there any other individuals who have signed up to speak?
I didn't sign up because I got in a little late. My name is Brad Smith with the Gary Fire Department.
Yes, sir.
Just to go off of some of the stuff that's with the guy with the jet ski. That community, when those guys show up, they help each other. And they definitely help us.
Okay.
And so we appreciate the fact that they are allowed to come down there and help us any way they can. Whether they're driving their Humvees on the beach, the police allow certain vehicles to come on the beach to help us. This guy, he's helped us numerous times, so.
And that's with your jet ski?
Getting jet skis, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also available, I've called him several times myself, when we have drownings, he has a nice drone. He'll put it up for us if needed to help us, and the drone is out before the sheriff's copter comes out. So it's very helpful. We got some good citizens in the city.
So the fire department has jet skis?
Yeah, we have jet skis.
Well, let me
We just can't always get, the landing is not never really dug out.
I know, but so he's able to do it with the piece of equipment that he has?
Oh, yeah, but he has, that's easy, real simple.
Is that not something that has been considered to be purchased by the fire department?
We've asked, we've not seen anything yet, no movement, so.
All right,
If we can get one, that'd be great.
okay.
So, but then you got the people with the Humvees too. We allow them because they help us. The cops allow some of them to come on the beach because they are equipped. Those Humvees can back in and back out with no issues. So,
So the problem is, I'm thinking, just off the top of my head, is the liability.
basically it's liability. I mean,
You gotta be able to coordinate with legal.
well,
and-
anybody driving if you go on the beach, that's your liability. Now, anybody like he does, he just walks something down to the beach. And you can't help yourself to push it on the beach. That's no liability for the city or him, nobody, because you're trying to get your own stuff out the water. See, that, again, that community helps themselves. Whether or not they have a unit like his, they all get together and pick theirs up and manually carry them to their skis. They show up when it opens, and they leave around 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And it's usually 15 people strong that usually run together, where they have to carry them across the water, across the sand. And there's other guys stated about Lake Michigan being so dangerous. Oh, it very well is. Whenever I go anywhere else in the country, anywhere in the world, I go diving, I'm a diver, I show them my cards, trained in Lake Michigan, they tell me I can do what I want to do. Because Lake Michigan is more dangerous than most seas and oceans.
Well, our director has made some notes here, and we're gonna see to what degree we can remedy this situation.
That'd be grateful.
Okay,
Helpful.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other speakers? Seeing none, the next item, are there any comments from our board members?
None here.
Then we'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
This meeting is adjourned.